My name is Jeff Okerzinski. I am a senior here. I'm going to be graduating this spring. I am a volunteer here at Hit Mix 88.9 WEIU, the radio. I am a non-traditional student over at the College of Technology, the School of Technology. I am an applied engineering and technology student. I am finishing up my bachelor's degree here. I am here now because I have 4 children. I have opportunity to come to college here. My wife works here, and we decided that it would be a good time for the kids are old enough, the kids can actually do things more for themselves. So I'm able to split away from the life of children into the life of finishing up my college degree. So I've started about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago almost, trying to finish up my bachelor's degree.
Now, if you guys have been listening Thursdays, I have had guests on. I've had Dr. Ben Druffel.
I volunteered here at Hit Mix because I felt this was an opportunity. I'm a creative person by nature. I do photography. I kind of like watching videos. I kind of like sometimes producing videos. My old place of employment needed videos for their machines. So I produced videos for them for that. So the creative side has always been a part of me. And being here at Hit Mix is just one part of that. I was very nervous in the beginning, but right now I feel very comfortable with that. Not to mention, there are times when my wife says I do have the face for radio.
That was Muse with Something Human from this year. Speaking of this year, speaking about tomorrow, today I have Josh Norman. He's sitting right across from me.
My tasks here at the Hit Mix is basically to provide the station with music, to be able to hopefully let it flow through and provide information either through news, weather, or sports. So when I'm in the studio, I try to give information about the songs, keep it flowing, inform people. There's always something to do here. You're always putting in spots for supporters that we have here at WEIU Radio. And there's one thing after another. The nice thing that I can do, the fun thing that I can do is if I don't like a song, I don't have to play it. If I want to hear a particular song, I can play it. So that is the fun part. I enjoy the people here. Being on the radio is fine. People can hear me, that's fine. I usually try to mention to people that I'm on the radio. No one ever says anything to me about it. But the students, the staff, Rob Calhoun, Jeff Owens, it's the people here. They pour a great deal of their life into this station. We're providing a service. We used to live up in Northern Illinois and Northern Illinois University. We didn't really necessarily have a college-run radio station or a TV station. There is something very particular about Charleston and Eastern Illinois University and what the two combined can do for itself and the community.
During that time, what do you do in particular?
My favorite part of that is 9 a.m. is check-in and just going and welcoming the families.
Every semester, a college student has an ability to create a show for whatever hour they are on. After 3 semesters, this is my 4th semester on the radio, I figured I'm going to be doing something different. Last semester, I worked with somebody, I was training somebody, Emma, and Emma and I would have a show. We had a Christmas show, we had a Thanksgiving show, we had a homecoming show. And so I'm just utilizing what I have done in the past to do something different. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to have faculty, staff, or administration come in and we're just going to talk for fun. They're going to spin some music. They're going to introduce some music. We're going to talk about their life here at Eastern and what they do for Eastern and what they do as a hobby. Because a lot of times, a lot of people just think of who a person is what they do at work. But there's so much more that a person does that people do not know.
I wish I had one of those sounds, cha-ching, all right, that sounds awesome.
I want to show the students that they can think of something and do it. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid to do something if you have an idea. Worst thing that can happen is it doesn't happen and they say no. So either you accept it or you work around it, or you are able to hold off and then try it again later, and then suddenly that no might become a yes. That's what I'm trying to show the students. Radio station, I get to hear students, they have the opportunity to give of themselves and to learn craft that you wonder how people do it. You wonder how people produce shows over in TV. You wonder how people are able to be a reporter. And Eastern Illinois University provides news reporting, they provide TV reporting, they provide radio reporting. It's just a complete package here at Eastern. When I first came here, I was very kind of concerned of how I would be able to fit in. I was wondering if I was able to share my personality. And after seeing some of the college students and the fun that they have here, that they are able to open up and share their personalities here at Eastern Illinois University on the radio, on television, or even their commentary over at the Den.
Hi, my name is JJ Bullock. I'm a sophomore journalism major here at Eastern Illinois University. I'm the sports editor for the Daily Eastern News. I write, report, design the sports pages, take photos, and just do whatever I can to help out and make sure the paper gets put out every night. Eastern Illinois University is the only public school in the state that puts out a daily paper. So every day we're waking up and we're doing something new. So we wake up, we know what stories we're doing, we go out, we write, report, and then that night we come in, we get the pages set, we get our stories on the pages, get our photos ready, and then the paper's out the next day, and we do the same thing the next day. So the cool thing about the Den is every day is a new paper, every day is a new experience, and there's always something new happening. It's very fast-paced. It's not like sitting in a cubicle every day. You know, you're always out reporting and doing something different. So that's what a day is like here at the Daily Eastern News. It's a lot of stuff going on. One of the cool things about being a sports reporter is getting to talk to the players and the coaches, because that's what really sets you apart from just a fan, is you have that inside knowledge with the coaches and the players, and then you get to put that into writing. And it's really cool to see people reading your stuff, and I love it when people come up to me and talk to me about an article they read that I wrote. And I don't know, I guess that's just what I love about being a sports reporter, is having that inside knowledge, and just people reading your writing is really, really fulfilling too, I think. Because, you know, you work so hard every day to get your stuff in print, and then when people like it, you know, it means a lot. The process of writing actually depends on what kind of article you're writing. So if I'm at a basketball game that started at 7 o'clock at night, deadline is, you know, usually around 10 or 11. So when that basketball game is done, I'm writing what I can, going to the press conference, getting my interview with the coach and the player, coming back and putting that into an article as fast as I can. So if it's a game night, you know, I mean, that's the thing with sports writing, is if it's game night, it's super fast-paced. You know, and you're always working, you're always trying to get that scoop, the interviews in. If it's an article that's planned ahead of time, you know, I have a couple days to get my interviews. I come in here about 5 o'clock, take maybe an hour to write my article, get it edited, put it in the paper. But, you know, the cool thing about sports writing is those game nights. You know, you're on deadline, so you're typing fast, but you're also trying to get out a good story. So being a sports writer is definitely exciting in that sense. It's an adrenaline rush. I don't know if it's for everybody. It's something that I love doing. You know, trying to get your word count on deadline is sometimes it's nerve-wracking, it's exciting, it's fun. And when you get that story submitted, like, you know, 2 minutes before deadline, like I don't know, it's just a rush, and it's really exciting, like I said before, to see it in the paper the next day, to know, like, hey, I got that done, you know, on deadline, and it ended up good. So deadline for everyone is exhilarating. It's a fun time here, you know, around 10:55 at night when it's on deadline and everyone's trying to get their stuff done. And we're always in here having a good time, so it's easy to get distracted. You know, we're like a little family in here, but, you know, around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, everyone knows everyone else is working hard to get out the paper, so everyone's scrambling to get stuff done, but everyone's goofing around with each other at the same time. So I don't know if there's such thing as tunnel vision, but everyone's definitely working hard late at night. I think the latest I've been in here this year is probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. That was when the basketball team was at the OVC tournament, and we have a joke in here that everyone has their personality during the day, and then they have their deadline personality. So we have what's called Midnight JJ, where after midnight I get a little weird in here if we're in here. So working on deadline it's something else. That's, I guess, the best way I can say it. It's fun. I consider myself lucky every day that I'm a journalism major, because I think a lot of college students are in majors and they're not sure if they really like what they're doing, or they graduate with like a degree in finance or accounting and they're like, I don't know if I want to work the rest of my life as an accountant. But I consider myself lucky that I'm 19 years old and I think I found what I really love to do for the rest of my life. And I get to do it every day here in college, and hopefully I'll graduate and get a job. Someone will give me the chance to do journalism as a career, and it really is what I love to do, and I consider myself lucky every day that I'm so young and I found what I want to do for the rest of my life. Super cool thing about EIU is there is so many opportunities the day you walk in the door. My freshman year I was writing a beat men's soccer before classes even started. My freshman year I got to go on an all expenses paid trip to Atlanta. I got to go to Nashville. This year I went to Dallas on a trip, Chicago, Nashville again. Just my second year here, I'm the assistant sports editor. I'll be taking over as sports editor next year as a junior. It's just really the opportunities you get here at EIU are, I can't imagine rivaled anywhere else, and especially a big school. Just the ability to be able to cover a beat day one when you walk in is a huge deal. So last year as a freshman, I covered men's soccer, women's basketball, and softball as a freshman. And that's, I mean, if you go to a big school, you're probably not going to get that as a freshman. And here at EIU, you're allowed to do that. We have freshmen walk in first day and they start taking photos for us. We have freshmen walk in first day and they start designing pages, copy editing. That's the cool thing about EIU, I think in any department you're in at EIU, but particularly journalism, is you get the hands-on experience the day you walk in the door. And I think that's really unrivaled from any other school. It's awesome. To be a good beat reporter, you just have to be willing to work hard. Especially because we're one of the only papers, we're the only public university in the state that puts out a daily paper. So you just have to be willing to work hard. And I think it's like I said before, I love what I do. So that makes it easy to want to work hard. But putting out a daily paper is not easy with any size staff. And here at the Daily Eastern News, we're a pretty small staff, so I think that's what's pretty amazing is we have such a small staff and we put out a daily paper every day. So you got to love it. You got to be willing to work hard. And if you can do those two things, you're going to do some pretty cool things. So yeah, you just got to be willing to put the work in. As a beat reporter, it's your job to know more about that sport than probably any other student on campus. And that takes work to do that. You got to be calling coaches, texting players, going to games, going to practices, keeping up with what the team is doing. And yeah, if you put that work in, you're going to do some really, really good stuff, and I think we do that here at the Daily Eastern News. I feel like I've come a long way as a sophomore. I came into Eastern, I was the editor-in-chief of my high school paper. I'd been writing for the Journal-Gazette-Times-Courier, which is the local paper here, so I knew what I was doing a little bit. But I think another one of the cool things about Eastern in the small class sizes is you get to work really closely with your professors. So you're learning a lot, you're getting a lot of feedback. And it really helped me become a better writer. Since I've been here at Eastern, I've done a lot of things too that I would have never seen myself doing, like some video stuff, some design stuff I would have never thought of myself doing. So you get to grow on the skills you already have. I like to think I was a pretty good writer when I came to Eastern, and I think I'm twice the writer I was, maybe quadruple the writer I was. But also I'm a much better designer. I take photos now, which was something I never envisioned myself doing. So in just 2 years at Eastern, I think I've doubled anything I thought I would have been doing, which is really cool. And then as far as what I hope to do, I just hope to keep learning. Just hope to keep getting better. And it's cool because, you know, the professors will work really closely with you, helping you do that. The editors here at the Daily Eastern News, our editor-in-chief is behind me right now. They're always willing to help you get better. So, you know, just trying to grow and get better every day. You know, like I said before, journalism is what I love to do. So I really want to be the best I can at it. And Eastern has definitely given me the opportunity to keep growing and become the best journalist I can, which is what I want to do.
My name is Heaven Ritchie. I'm a senior here at Eastern. I am a geography major with a minor in broadcast meteorology, and I'm a weather forecaster for WEIU. My job is pretty much a job as a meteorologist. I come in, I do the weather, a live 30-minute broadcast. It used to be 5 days a week. It is now 3 days a week, but I am here 5 days a week. It is a team effort here at WEIU, especially in the weather portion. I do forecasts with Everett, and we work together to create accurate forecasts. We do partner with the National Weather Service. We collect data for the National Weather Service. So we do a lot with the organization of National Weather Service here.
Well, good evening, everybody. Definitely a picture-perfect day here today in East Central Illinois. Lots of sunshine and temperatures. They've reached the low 60s.
So usually on days that I come in, I broadcast live at 5:30, and I like to have my ducks in a row. So I come in at around 1:30, 1:45, depending on when classes are. So no later than 2 o'clock, and that gives me time to forecast. So when I forecast, I look at different models and climate data to understand, okay, this is where the temperature is going, this is where it needs to go. So I look at those models and I compare them with Everett, who is my partner in the Weather Center. We compare data to see, okay, how many degrees are we off? And we are no more than 3 degrees off of each other at all. And usually we like to be 0 degrees off each other, but depending on the situation, we are no more than 3 degrees off, which is pretty impressive being that we are students and not certified meteorologists here. So that shows you how great of a program that our broadcast practicum is that it teaches you accurate forecast. And we actually get to observe our own data at our weather station out behind Greek Court. We get to observe our own data for the National Weather Service, so we know exactly what our temperatures are and where we need to go with those. So once we get our temperatures and forecast sheets are done, we then piece our show together, and we focus our show mainly on where is the main priority for the week. So what are we focusing the show on? So today I focused the show on temperature because we are hitting 80 degrees on Tuesday, no precipitation till later next week. So to me, that's not very relevant because it's a week out. So we don't focus on that. And a good thing about WEIU is it showcases how to piece that show together because, yeah, sunny and 75 is great, but not for meteorologists all the time because it's hard to piece a 3.5-minute show together when you have nothing to talk about but lots of sunshine and 75 degrees. So once we do that, we get all of our show stuff together, and then we have to close caption for viewers at home. And once we do that, usually it's about time to broadcast. So then we do our 3.5-minute segment, and then we have to do social media, and we update our social media accounts, which we do Facebook, website, Twitter, and we go on YouTube. And we do all that for them. So being a weather forecaster here at WEIU, you do the whole package. You don't just come in and forecast and leave. No, you have to do all the science behind it and everything incorporated with it. Working with Kelly is great because she does run a tight ship, which is exactly how it needs to be. And she says things that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear. And she doesn't really sugarcoat anything. If you mess up, she's going to tell you, which is good because that's exactly what they do in the real world. And being that I'm getting ready to graduate and get out in the real world, I know exactly what to expect and how to talk to somebody in a situation like that. So Kelly is very good, and she does it out of love. She really does. She does it because she wants her students to succeed and to know that this is what it's going to be like when you're not here anymore. Working with Cameron's pretty great too. He is very good when it comes to behind the scenes stuff. He showcases the science very well, and he teaches you the green wall and everything, showcasing the science behind what we do. So when you take the practicum class, he makes sure that you are accurate in what you do and you're prepared before you ever even think about getting on the green wall. Not only have I grown as a weather forecaster, I think I've grown as a person. I used to be very shy, not very outgoing, but once you step foot into an environment like this and you are kind of you're kind of not hung out to dry, so to speak, but you are in the real world here, and you have to build that confidence up. You have to build that confidence layer, and you have to be a strong person. And I've grown as a person tremendously. I am an outgoing person. I am able to public speak. I am able to do 3.5-minute broadcasts. I do all kinds of tours and presentations that last year or the year before I would never have done. So that is something that Eastern has really, especially WEIU, has really showcased here. Is I've grown as a person and a weather forecaster. I've been wanting to be a meteorologist since I was 5 years old. So being here has really made that dream a possibility. I am proud to be a part of WEIU. I really am, because this is a great program. Great people have come from here. We have meteorologists all over the country. We have one in Peoria, Terre Haute, out in Texas, up in Michigan now. We have them all over the place. And for me to graduate from here as a meteorologist and to be one of those that future students come in and then they can reference me, that means a lot to me, because they are going to be where I once was. So they're going to know the feeling that, yeah, they can make it too. I'm actually from Southern Indiana, and I transferred here just because of WEIU, because this program is so great at putting their students where they need to be. I like the science behind the weather. I want to learn more in depth about the science. I eventually want to get off of the green wall and work for somebody behind the scenes, and I'm going to continue going to school, get a master's, and then eventually a PhD. So I want to learn more about the science. The green wall is fun, but I'd rather be in depth with the science.